Thank you so much for having me. What's up, guys? How are you? Good. So let me break the room a little bit. How many people here know a business owner? Raise your hand. All right, we're making money together. Let's go. So I own Hedgestone Business Advisors. We're a full-service business brokerage. We sell all different types of businesses, from car washes, laundromats, trucking companies, daycares, anything we can sell. That's what I love about this business. There's 30 million businesses right now in the United States, and all of them are for sale at the right price. There's not a lot of competition. There's roughly 15,000, from my calculation, there's roughly 15,000 business brokers doing it, and there's 2 million active real estate agents, so think about that difference. Another beautiful thing about what we do is we get 10% commissions. Look at the hat. That's true. So I don't negotiate. When someone says I'm not paying you 10%, politely stand up, thank you so much, talk to another business owner, business broker, and then they come back to me. They're like, Mike, we love your evaluation. We love the way you structured the deal. And I push heavy seller financing in this business. So seller financing is the beautiful thing about selling businesses. The terms are so negotiable. Every deal is a deal-by-deal basis. Most of my deals, I crunch the numbers, I look what the numbers are. If a car wash is cash flowing $600,000 a year, how do I get that seller financing note to $200,000, $250,000? So at the end of the day, the buyer is making 25, 30% on their money. So that's how I structure deals on the seller financing end. Right now, we have about 1,000 listings in Hedgestone. We have about 250 full-time brokers on the team. We have like 6, 7 teams that lead everyone in the company. Christian Rodriguez is an experienced broker back there. Christian, thanks for supporting. He's killing it. Christian Zarama as well. They've been with me for 6 years, these guys. Some hot deals that I have, just to pitch everyone some deals. I'm big on Instagram. I get about 4 million views a month organically. That's a huge avenue for selling businesses. I got a supermarket in it's doing about $90,000 a week. We're asking $1.4 million. The cash flow is about $500,000. I evaluated it about 2.5, 3 times, and it's an established supermarket. So if anyone has buyers for that, we get 10 points. We're willing to, anyone that has referrals on anything, bring them to us. Alex Swoltowski right here. There's just so much business right now. I'm sure people in this room know business owners that want to sell their business.
So you get a referral when you bring them to you?
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
More than 10%?
No. We'll give you a referral. We're very transparent. We have a back-end CRM infrastructure that can support thousands of deals. It was built organically. We're scaling like crazy. We're bringing on 10, 15 people a week at this time. We're number 1 in the country right now, and we're based in Long Island. So it's big. It's big. I've been doing it for a while. So a little bit about me. I started off as a real estate agent. I was working as a pizza boy at the same time. I met a business broker on a delivery. The business broker liked me. He invited me to his office. I learned business brokering. I sold a pizzeria while I was delivering pizza. And I'm like, you know what? I'm out. And my boss respected me. I'm still friends with my boss back then. I'm actually selling one of his spots right now. I left, and then I just started my journey. I partnered on a deal in Manhattan. I bought another pizzeria with an investor. I got the commission. I ran the pizzeria and I sold businesses while I was there. That was like in 2014. And then I basically sold that, and I just sold car washes. I sold probably 70 car washes in my career. Car washes are cash businesses, but that doesn't mean you could still buy and sell a cash business. You have to structure the due diligence properly. Everyone thinks, oh, let me send your tax returns, let me send your P&Ls, but it's not about that sometimes. We have buyers that like the cash. They can come in, they can stay there for 30 days, they can watch the business, and they're good with it. And even if it's a seller financing deal, we still get paid our 10%. There's just so much opportunity right now. I know everyone here has people that want to buy, people that want to sell. Bring them to us. We know how to evaluate. We're transparent. We'll give you live updates on deals. We'll just lock it up, and everyone will make money. Right now, we're changing so many lives. It's just such a great industry. I would say there's about 7 million serious businesses for sale. There's only 15,000 people doing it. So let me stop right there. Does anyone have any questions?
Do you also have opportunities where they're selling the real estate along with that business?
Absolutely. So we have a ton of businesses with the real estate. We have a ton of businesses without the real estate. So there's good opportunities if you're looking to buy real estate, anyone here, where we can, if they own the real estate in the business, they have a lease, we can control the rent, right? And then we can do a sale leaseback, maybe do a second position financing on the business, or, get a loan on the real estate where you can get as much financing as possible if it's cash flowing that much. So there's just so many, if they own the real estate, there's so many avenues to get things done. But yes, sorry.
What's the biggest pitfalls and what makes deals fall apart when you're buying something?
Great question. The due diligence. So expectations up front. So if you're a new business broker and you're dealing with one buyer at a time, you have an LOI, that deal, 30% of LOIs go through. So I have backup to backup to backup to backup offers until there's a contract. Also expectations on the financials. I have a car wash that only takes cash and Zelle right now. How am I going to sell that? They don't have books. So what I do is I tell the seller up front, you have to let a buyer come in here for 30 days. If you're not okay with that, I can't help you because that's the only way to prove it. So I set that up front. And then when he does that and the buyer sees, wow, this car wash is doing 150 cars on a Friday, at a $22 average, those places making money.
What kind of loans are out there when there is real estate involved? What are some things that you can look into? I don't know if there's like SBA loans or something that, where you can purchase the business and the real estate simultaneously.
That's a great question. SBA loans are so difficult. I would say 90% of our deals are done through seller financing. That's a big percentage because there's no business valuation, there's no appraisal. It's just between the buyer and the seller. The rates are way better. So that's the biggest void in our business is the financing. And SBAs are doable. The books have to be crystal clean because the loan has to support, the income has to support the debt on paper. And a lot of these businesses, they don't put their clean financials down, because they want to save as much on taxes. SBAs, private money sometimes, seller financing. Seller financing, 90% of our deals are done through seller financing.
So if you're seller financing a business, if there's no real estate tied to it, there's no assets to it, how is a seller protected on seller finance deals? Is it just personal guarantee against them? How would a seller be protected on, let's say, a $500,000 sale?
It's a great question. What I like to do is I like to get collateral, like another personal asset that they have, a house, if they have equity in the house, whatever they have, I like to do that. Obviously, we get the business back. So the seller doesn't want the business back, but the seller is making interest on his money. The seller can defer his capital gains over the course of the note, which is tremendous. But the collateral is where it's at, the business collateral. You got to convince the seller.
How long is the seller financing typically in place?
I've done deals where I've had 30-year terms. Like I did a deal where, I was involved in, it was a 30-year term, 5.5%. I've had deals where, 1-2 years. So every deal, it's a deal-by-deal basis.
I'm trying to understand how you evaluate these businesses. Like the example of the supermarket, you said it was 1.4 and a cash flow of 500. To me, that sounds like a no-brainer. So why wouldn't someone just jump and buy that? How are they looking at these businesses and evaluating them?
It's a great question. Every business is evaluated differently. Supermarkets, they can be based on a multiple of net revenue or also a multiple of gross weekly sales. We have about 25 buyers in 2 days on the supermarket because it's such a good deal. They go quick, they do. It's our job to evaluate. If I priced it at $2 million, then I wouldn't have anyone. So every business, that's what we teach in Hedgestone. We teach all the brokers how to evaluate businesses based on their industry. So car washes trade between 5 and 6 times. Laundromats trade between 4 and 5 times. Now, these are rough numbers. It could be off a half a multiple. Trucking companies, I'm closing on one right now. It's a $55 million deal. That one's a 5.5 time multiple. Pizzerias, they sell between 1.5 to 2.5 times. So we know all the different industries, which is cool.
When you have an active business that's losing money, what do you say to them when they approach you to sell it?
That's a great question. That happens all the time. So I would really evaluate it. It's tough to sell it as a business sometimes. We would evaluate it as an asset sale, where we would look at, say it's a laundromat. We'd look at the price of the build out of the equipment. We would, see the location. We might give a couple of dollars on the name and the brand and the equipment. So if it's losing money, we might reposition it as an asset sale rather than a business. But if the business is making $10 million a year, year and the expenses are $11 million a year and it has that income, then there's ways to exit prep for the owner. So, put them in an exit strategy, how to get that bottom line higher, how to cut the expenses, and then we can evaluate it differently. So we also consult for business owners as well. We help them drive revenue up. We help with AI. We're huge into AI. We can help you in real estate too. We're big into AI as well. That's the future for everything.
How does somebody become a business broker?
Got to talk to this guy right here. He's going to handle it. But yeah, it's a simple process. We can onboard you. I have a whole educational platform and everything, and definitely get you started. 10,000 baby boomers retire every day. 2,500 are business owners, and their kids don't want the businesses. That's who we're targeting. We built a lead generation system where we're getting 50 to 60 sellers a week, and we're funneling them to everyone in my mentorship program. We have some of the guys here today. Those are our clients, or the baby. Like I spoke today to a home health care guy who's been in business for 25 years. His kids don't want the business. And he's basically just like, can you get me the most amount of money? But I'm not going to just dump it and give it to someone. I need to find someone that believes in it and can run it and keep my legacy going. And that's what we do. And it's a good business. It's such a fun business. You could do it from your phone. We don't have to meet people. We sell businesses all around the country. It's just crazy. It's a lot of fun.
Rolling commission to you?
Yeah, another good topic. We roll. I used to when I got into the businesses, I used to roll my commissions into the deals. So when we get 10%, it's a nice hit on a deal. So if we sell a car wash for $800,000, and the commission's $80,000, and the seller financing is 50%, which is $400,000. I would roll my commission into a deal, and I would get 15, 20% equity plus management fees to run it. There are so many creative ways to get into the businesses, but nothing is absentee. That's the biggest myth. Everyone thinks, I can run a business passively. It's all BS, honestly.
What's the average time of your due diligence period?
That's a good question. I would say average time for deals under $2 million, I would say between 30 and 60 days. Anything over $2 million, I would say it can be 60 to 120 days. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.